My dear students, welcome back. A very good morning to one and all. Coming to the artificial intelligence course, we are discussing about the uninformed searching algorithms. Okay, actually, different types of searching algorithms available in artificial intelligence are uninformed searching algorithms and informed searching algorithms. In uninformed searching algorithms, we have 6 different examples are available: breadth first search, depth first search, uniform cost search, depth limited search, iterative deeping depth first search, bidirectional search. In the previous session, we have completed the concept breadth first search. So, in today's session, we will cover the depth first search and depth limited search. Okay, so we will start with the depth first search. So, coming to the depth first search, actually, the breadth first search and depth first search are the two different types of graph traversals technique. Already we are studied in the data structures and algorithms. Here also we will implement the same concept. Okay, so what is the meaning of depth first search? Actually, it is a recursive algorithm. What is the meaning of recursive? Function calling itself. Okay, so this is one type of graph traversal technique and we are applied for the tree also. Okay, so here why we are using the depth first search? For traversing whole the graph. Here we will visit each and every node. Okay, it is called the depth first search because it starts from the root node. Okay, not only the depth first search, BFS also start from the root node. Okay, here we will follow the each path its complete depth. Okay, so that's why this is called DFS. In breadth first search we will visit breadth wise, level wise, but here we will consider one path, we will move to, okay, we will follow here each path to its greatest depth node. Okay, before moving to the next path, here we will consider only one path, we will complete that path. Okay, so DFS, in the DFS we are using the stack data structure. What is the meaning of stack here? Last in first out. Okay, by using stack, already we are discussed the DFS example in the data structures and algorithm, so that's why here I will give a small information. Okay, so the process of DFS algorithm is similar to the BFS algorithm, only the difference is in BFS algorithm we will traverse breadth wise, but in the DFS algorithm we will traverse, we will consider only one path and follows that path to its greatest depth. Okay, now we will see the example of DFS. Okay, so here in this particular problem, actually our aim is to traverse the root node capital S to, what is the goal node here? Capital G. Okay, that means we will move from S to capital G. Okay, so in the below search tree we have shown the flow of depth first search and it will follow the order. Okay, actually here we will follow the order. First we will consider the root node, after that we will move to the left side because here we will consider the left path. Okay, after completed the left path, once again we will move to the that left path. Okay, so are you understand my point? Root node, first we will visit the root node, then left node, all the left nodes are completed, then only we will move to the right side. Okay, now we will see the example, no problem. So here I will consider the graph as shown below. Here we have 3 levels are available. Okay, actually here our aim is to visit the node capital G. Okay, we will start from the searching the root node capital S. Okay, so what is the rules here? First we will visit the root node, after that we will move to the left side. What is the left node of capital A? Because here we will consider only one path and follow that path up to the greatest depth. Okay, so that's why here we will consider the S2 capital A. Okay, please observe the dotted lines, please observe the arrows here. Okay, how we will move S2 capital A. Now we will consider the root node as capital A. What is the capital A left node? Capital B. That's why S2A, A2B, then what is the left of capital B? Capital D. Okay, any left node is available capital D here? no paths are available. So S to A to B, B to D. Okay, now what is the rule? After completed the left node, here we have a facility to move to the right side. That's why what is the capital B left side, capital D, it is completed. That's why we will move to the right side. What node is available in the capital B right side? Capital E. Okay, please observe S to A to B, B to D, then D to E. Why we will move to the capital E here? All the left nodes are completed. That's why we will move to the right child. Okay, so actually this is the backtracking process. Okay, capital D complete అయిపోయింది. Once again we will move to the capital B left side complete అయిపోయాయి కాబట్టి we will move to the right side. Okay, here capital B nodes are completed. Once again we will move, apply the backtracking. Now we will at capital A left childs are completed. So that's why after capital E we will move to the capital C. Okay, what is the right node of capital C here? Capital G. Okay, this is the path here. Please observe the answer. My dear students, please observe the answer here. S to capital A to capital B to capital D, next E, C, G. Okay, that is the path. Here what is our aim? To move from capital S to capital G. Okay, this is the explanation about DFS. Now we will see the, observe the advantages. What are the advantages of DFS here? So here the DFS follows the recursive. Okay, actually that's why it occupies the less memory compared to the BFS. Okay, that is one of the advantage. It takes the less time also compared to the BFS. So that is also the advantage of DFS. Please observe the BFS disadvantages. Now I will open. So actually what are the disadvantages of BFS? Please observe here. So lots of memory want and lots of time. So that's why we will move to the DFS. Those are the advantages of DFS. Okay, please observe that. The disadvantages of BFS is solved by the depth first search. Okay, so what are the disadvantages? Here also we have disadvantages. There is the possibility that many states keep reoccurring and there is no guarantee of finding the solution. Okay, here we are applying the recursive function and we are applying the backtracking. Maybe the node is missing at anywhere. Okay, that's the possibility. Okay, so DFS algorithm sorry, another disadvantage of DFS is it consider only one path and move to the depth of that path. So that is the disadvantage. Maybe it goes to the infinite loop. Okay, so that's why this is also the disadvantage of DFS. Now we will verify the performance of DFS algorithm. Sorry, what are the properties we will consider? Completeness, time complexity, space complexity, and optimal solution. So here the DFS search algorithm is complete. Why we will decide this is complete? Because here we got the solution. That's why the DFS algorithm is completed. Okay, coming to the time complexity, here we have at the root node we have only one child node is available. That's why in the recurrence relation I will consider 1. Next n square, n cube, and so on, n power m. Actually in the level 1, please observe the diagram. Okay, in the level 1 we have a possibility for 2 nodes. In the level 2 we have a possibility for 2 square, like that. That's why here we will consider the recurrence relation as 1 plus n square plus n cube plus and so on up to m levels. That's why n power m. Here the upper bound is in this recurrence relation, the lower bound is 1, the upper bound is n power m. So we will decide the time complexity of DFS is big O of n power m, where what is the meaning of m? Maximum depth. The depth first search completely depending on the depth of that particular path. That's why maximum depth of any node, and this can be much larger than the much larger than shortest solution path. That's why we will say that the time complexity of DFS is big O of n power m. What is the time complexity of what is the space complexity? Compared to the space complexity and time complexity of BFS, DFS is the best. So here we will say that the space complexity of DFS is upper bound of BM. Okay, so finally optimal solution. Actually here we have only one solution, that's why we don't say this is optimal solution or not an optimal solution. Here we got only one solution because we will complete the path, then only we will move to the next path. That means here we got only one solution for the DFS. Okay, so this is the information about depth first search. Depending on the disadvantages of depth first search, now we will move to the another uninformed searching algorithm, that is depth limited search algorithm. Okay, so we will see here actually what is the disadvantage of depth first search. Please observe here. So here maybe it goes to the infinite loop because here the DFS consider one path and up to the depth of that path. Okay, so that is one of the disadvantage. That's why here we will consider the limited depth. Who will decide what is the limited? Okay, developer will decide. Okay, so no problem. A depth limited search algorithm is similar to the process is same as DFS with a predetermined limit. In the DFS we will go to up to the depth, but here we will consider one predetermined depth limit. Okay, here we can solve the drawback of the infinite path in the DFS. Actually that is the disadvantage of DFS. Here we will rectify that disadvantage. In this algorithm, the node at the depth limit will treat as it has no successor nodes further. Here who will decide the depth limit? We will decide, the developer will decide. Okay, here we will consider what is the limit. Here we will consider what is the depth limit. Parent node ki child nodes lekapothe we can't consider that parent. Okay, are you understand? The node at the depth limit will treat as, here in this particular problem we will treat as it has no successor nodes further. Okay, ఎవరికైతే చైల్డ్ నోడ్స్ లేరో ఆ పర్టికులర్ పేరెంట్కి మూవ్ అవ్వాల్సిన పని లేదు. హియర్ we will consider that depth limit. Okay, so here we have two conditions of failure. Okay, here we occurred maybe two problems are occurred, two conditions of failure. What are those? We will discuss. Actually the depth limited search can be terminated with two conditions of failure. When the depth limited search algorithm terminated, we will discuss. One is standard failure value, another one is cutoff failure value. What is the meaning of standard failure value? It indicates that problem does not have any solution. Then we will simply say that the depth limited search will be terminated. ఒకవేళ మనం ఆల్రెడీ ఇక్కడ డెప్త్ లిమిటెడ్ సెర్చ్ డెప్త్ లిమిట్ ఫైనలైజ్ చేసాం. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? ఎవరికైతే చైల్డ్ నోడ్స్ లేరో ఆ పేరెంట్ నోడ్ని మనం కన్సిడర్ చేయట్లేదు. మేబీ దట్ ఈస్ ద గోల్ నోడ్. ఓకే, మనమేమో ఆ పర్టికులర్ నోడ్ని విజిట్ చేయలేదు. మేబీ దట్ ఈస్ గోల్ అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చు. ఇన్ దట్ టైమ్ డెఫినెట్లీ we can't find out the solution. Okay, so that is related to standard failure value. Another failure is cutoff failure value. What it says that it defines no solution for the problem within a given depth limit. Same. Okay, already we are considered here the depth limit. Maybe the goal is available in that particular location. Okay, then we can't find out the solution. Okay, now we will see the example of depth limit. Okay, so here what is our aim? We will visit the root node. From the root node, and what is the goal here? Capital J. Okay, so now we will move from S to capital A. Okay, DFS process. What is the DFS process? Here we will consider one path and we will go to up to the depth. Okay, S to A to C. After C, actually what is the answer? According to the DFS rules అయితే క్యాపిటల్ E విజిట్ చేయాలి. బట్ హియర్ we will consider one limit. ఏంటది? సో చైల్డ్ నోడ్స్ లేకపోతే we can't consider that parent node. So that's why we will not consider capital E and capital N. capital F. Okay, that's why we will move to the right side, C2 capital D. Next, here in the right side capital G is available, but there are no child nodes are available, so that's why capital T2 directly we will jump to the right side of capital S, that is capital B. After that we will move to the left side. Already we know the DFS conditions. First we will consider the root node, then left child, then right child. What is the capital B left child? Capital I. So here capital I right side capital H is available, but here capital H has no successor nodes. That's why we will move to the right side of capital J. Actually that is our goal. Okay, so this is the solution. Please observe the solution. S to A, A to C, C to D, D to B, next I, J. Actually here capital J has no successor nodes, but here the goal is available. Okay, so that is the example of depth limited search. Okay, are you understand, my dear students? Now we will see what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages. So coming to the advantages, actually it occupies the depth limited search is memory efficient. Actually that is the advantage of DFS also, but here we will consider the limited, then compared to the DFS it is very efficient regarding the time complexity and space complexity. Here what are the disadvantages? Actually here the disadvantage of depth limit search is incompleteness, because here we can't move to the up to the depth of that particular graph or tree. Maybe the goal is available at that particular location. In that situation we can't find out the solution. That's why the depth limited search is incompleteness. It may not be optimal, so here we can't find out the perfect solution. We can't, maybe the solution is also not available. Then how we will decide this is optimal or not? Okay, so that's why that is also considered as the disadvantage of depth limited search. Now we will discuss about the performance measure of depth limited search. That's in that point of view we will consider the properties of searching algorithm, that is completeness, time complexity, space complexity, and optimal solution. Completeness, maybe okay, actually in the previous example we will find out the solution. That's why here we will say that the depth limited search is completed. Okay, here what is our aim? To move to the capital J. That's why here we will say that depth limited search algorithm is complete if the solution is above the depth limit. Please observe the condition. Above the depth limit, then the solution is find out, otherwise we can't find out the solution. Then that situations may be incompleteness. What is the time complexity? Here the time complexity is depending on the limited only. Okay, because here we will consider one limited. Okay, that's why the time complexity of depth limited search is also depending on the limited. So that's why we will say that upper bound of b power l. So here the space complexity is also depending on the limited. So finally we will say that the space complexity of depth limited search is upper bound of b into l. Optimal solution, okay, maybe the depth limited search can be viewed as a special case of DFS. Actually the process is same as depth first search, so maybe we will consider this is one special case of depth first search, and it is also not optimal. Actually DFS can't find out the optimal solution, because here we got only one solution. How we will decide this is the optimal or not? That's why we can't say that it is also. Finally the depth limited search algorithm is also not optimal even if the L limited is greater than the depth. In that situation also we can't say that this is an optimal solution. This is the information about depth first search and depth limited search. In the next session we will cover the remaining examples of uninformed searching algorithms. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for watching.